Sorry if that's super rambly, but this is a chatty get ready with me. So if you don't like chatty, don't watch. Today I'm not going to be talking as much about the makeup, but I did just want to reference the Stila One Step Correcting Primer. Look how much is left. We've been working on this since I shot my stash earlier this year, and we finished it. There's nothing coming out. That's so exciting. Okay, wow, I thought this was going to be the last time, but it's had its last time. I have to pick a new primer to use now. Okay, so I always knew this day would come, and like, I mean, I've been working towards finishing this off. I've been sort of dedicated to using it, but I'm actually so excited that we finished it off. I mean, in time for New Year's, but in time for Christmas. This is gonna be going in my empties bin. Probably have an empties before the new year, if not early in the new year. I've been working on filling that bin. But instead, I think today I'm gonna use this Glossier Priming Moisturizer. Haven't really used this one a ton. I picked it up in a Glossier sale back when I told myself I was gonna be a Glossier girl. And what I've learned is that I'm not a Glossier girl. I prefer a little more coverage. I prefer a little bit more like makeup-y looking makeup. Generally speaking, I'm not really, you know, trying to look like I'm not wearing any makeup. This is nice. Okay, this is fine. Okay, I think I'm gonna focus on using this one up. So for our concealer today, I'm gonna be using the Liquid Touch Brightening Concealer. This is a sample I got from Sephora, from Rare Beauty. So I'm using the shade 160C. Let's see. Okay, so to be honest, that is like the 6th lightest shade. I would probably do a 130N or a 120C, but this is the lightest one on the little sample card. I'm sure it's gonna be fine. Anyways, ever since I fell in love with her Bliss blush, I've just been curious to try more from her and more from her brand. So, you know, I'm not saying that Rare Beauty is going to be a big part of 2022 here on my channel, but, you know, it'll be a bigger part, I guess. There's a few products I want to pick up. It seems like Sephora has a lot of sales lately, so I'm sure there'll be another one. Okay, let's grab a brush. So I'm just grabbing my Larousse LR222 brush. I really like this one for concealer. So honestly, I cannot believe that it's Christmas Eve. Like, where did December go? My husband and I slept in this morning. I don't have to work today. He has to work, but he's working from home, so we got to sleep in a bit. Normally, first thing in the morning, what I do is I drive him to the train so he can get to work. So it was really nice not having to drive him to the train today. We had these plans of making breakfast, but then we realized that we were out of bacon and we wanted bacon and eggs. So instead we just had some leftovers from when we had dinner at my in-laws a couple days ago. And yeah, we hung out for a little bit in the morning. It was kind of nice to have a little bit of a slower pace. It's actually, what time is it? 1:52 and I'm doing my makeup. But you know what, that's okay. It's Christmas. Christmas Eve, Christmas. Honestly, I don't know about you guys. I know that Christmas is December 25th, but I really consider Christmas to be a 3-day holiday that lasts from Christmas Eve until Boxing Day. That's just my opinion. But anyway, so today we're gonna be driving up to my parents' house where we're gonna have Christmas with my brother and my grandma who lives with my parents, and I think his girlfriend's gonna be there. I'm not really sure. Not really sure what their plans are, but I think we're seeing her. I don't really know. Hope we do. And then tomorrow, so on Christmas Day, at some point between, you know, I don't know, in that after lunch haze, maybe like 1 or 2 o'clock, something like that, we are going to head out to my in-laws. So this is the Ilia True Skin Serum Foundation. I think this is a really, really nice kind of lighter weight, lighter to medium coverage foundation that just feels really comfortable on my skin. So yeah, we're gonna drive up. I think we're actually, well, I've decided, I just haven't told my husband yet, but I would like us to pop into Costco in my parents' town before dropping into their house. I actually joke with my friends. So my friends and I are kind of at the age where everyone is just starting to have kids and kind of starting to start their families. And so we joke around a lot about like Costco moms. And I messaged my friend the other day. She has a kid. She has I guess her baby's like 15 months old. She's a really cute little baby that we love. Anyway, so I messaged that friend and I was just like, you know, I know that we're ready to have kids because we love Costco. And she found that really funny. So anyway, so Costco, hoping to pop in there. I know it's gonna be a madhouse. And I don't know about you guys, but dads are the hardest to buy for. And one thing I always find really stressful about Christmas is it's like, I have to get my dad a great gift for Christmas. And then just as I pull that off and I'm just like, yes, Alana, you did it. You got your dad a great gift. Like, you are the best daughter. Then I have to repeat that repeat that process like immediately thereafter to come up with something to get him for his birthday. Preferably something that is not, you know, like a gift card. I really try to not get my dad gift cards. And it's really tough having to do that twice in a row when you're buying gifts for a guy who A, can buy himself whatever he wants, and B, doesn't really want anything, especially anything I can get him. And what's made even harder about shopping for my dad is that typically, sorry, I'm just like buffing this in. But typically what I've done for my dad over the last couple of years that's worked out really, really well is I have purchased him, I call it an IOU. So basically, my dad and I both have really, really busy schedules and hard to coordinate. So I would never buy him, like, I would never just buy him tickets to a sport game and be like, surprise, on this day you're going, because his schedule is, you know, it's complex and full. So instead what I have done, like for Father's Day, his birthday, Christmas, whatever, in the card I will just write, like, I'll draw like a pretty little picture of a sport and I'll write like, IOU, your choice, baseball or basketball. And then after Christmas or whatever the gift giving day is, my dad and I will go through our calendars and, well, he'll actually pull up like the sport calendar for baseball and for, so for the Toronto Blue Jays and the Toronto Raptors. So he'll pull those up, look at the schedules, and then he will propose 2 or 3 dates. And like he'll, you know, put more effort into it than I would, and he'll be like, oh, like I want to see like them play this team. And I'm like, what's that team? I'm not really a sports person. But anyway, so he'll like figure out what's the combination of a couple of times that work in his calendar and a couple of games he wants to see. And then I will reference that with my calendar, and usually, like, I'm not even kidding, usually this game, whatever game it'll be, will be like 4 or 5 months away. And then anyway, so once we've secured that that's the day and time, then I will go and order tickets. But I'll always write like an IOU, and then I'll usually like take him to lunch or dinner before the game or after the game or whatever. And then we just make like a really fun little afternoon of it. He always really enjoys it, and he'll always like post on Facebook like, finally using my Christmas gift. And I found that that's been a really great gift to give my dad lately. And so I developed this nice little habit of getting my dad these IOUs. And then COVID. So, you know, it's like I can't really write him an IOU, let's go to a sport game, because with the rules of COVID just changing so much, you know, and here in Ontario just changing all the time, it's really hard to plan. So I haven't done that the last couple of years. But that's the gift I want to give him, because I know it's a gift he appreciates, and it's ultimately the gift of spending time together. You know, it's like, it's the gift of spending time together, it's the gift of us hanging out, we make a memory, like we have a really good time when we go. But it's just obviously harder with COVID now that that's not really an option. So anyways, I really like the gift I got him for Christmas, and I just have to figure out what he's getting for his birthday. Okay, so for our eyeshadow today, I thought we'd go with a true classic. This is Natasha Denona's Biba palette. So as usual, I'm going to start with Tusk, just kind of blended all over the lid as a bit of a base. I did go with my MAC paint pot in Painterly already. But you know, anyways, I'm looking forward to driving up to my parents' house tonight. I have all of our gifts. I call them my Santa bags. I have these like big sacks that are just filled with all the gifts. And I was sort of thinking this morning as I was filling it up, on one hand, the gift bag, it didn't feel all that full, but then I remembered that everyone who I celebrate Christmas with is an adult, and so all of their gifts are tiny and expensive. But I've got some fun stuff in there. Yesterday I picked up some scratch tickets for my grandma. I have other gifts for my grandma too. We're gonna go with Freckle. I feel like I like do the same look every time with Biba. And you know what? I'm not gonna apologize because I love it. But anyways, I enhanced my grandma's gift a little bit. Not that it needed enhancing, but I was at Shoppers getting something for my brother-in-law because he's really tough to buy for. Honestly, men in general are really tough to buy for, but I'm excited about what we ended up, well, what I ended up getting him. My husband had already ordered him a gift. And anyways, so I was paying for his gift and I was picking up a few just last minute gift cards for some of the people that make our life easier. Like we have a kid up the street who shovels our snow that we, you know, obviously pay him, but I just grabbed just some little Starbucks gift cards for people like that who, you know, make our lives easier and better. And I just love doing little surprise, you know, little surprise gifts like that. And anyways, as I was checking out, they had all of like the Christmas little lottery tickets, and my family doesn't really gamble, but somehow gambling is a Christmas tradition, I guess. I don't know, our stockings, we always have some like little scratch tickets and stuff, and my grandma likes little scratch tickets and that kind of stuff. So I decided to just grab her a couple more, you know? Okay, so I'm gonna go in with Cocoa on the outer part of my lid. You know, one thing that I think a lot about, and I kind of wanted to share with you guys, is if we have a grandparent who, you know, or a parent, or really anyone in our life, you know, especially family who you're close with, who like is celebrating Christmas after a loss and after losing like a life partner. You know, my grandparents were married for almost 60 years. You know, one thing I think about a lot is that, you know, for Christmas, it's like I am my husband's #1 gifting priority, right? Like I know that there's one person out there whose job it is to make sure that I have a great Christmas. And I'm not saying that we should put all of that pressure on a spouse, but, you know, just hear me out, right? So I know that, you know, my husband is thinking, you know, how can I get my wife the best gift? Like, what can I get for her? How can I spoil her? Like, I know that I'm kind of #1 on his gifting, and in the same way that he's #1 on my gifting. And again, like my parents have each other, my brother's his girlfriend, but you know, especially for a grandparent after they lose their partner, it's like they don't have somebody who suddenly like they're making sure that, you know, that they are having the best possible Christmas. And so that's just something that kind of dawned on me the first Christmas after we lost my grandpa. You know, that grandma didn't have someone who was like wholly dedicated to her Christmas. And actually the last Christmas that we had my grandpa for, he got my grandma a Fitbit, you know, and just like she was super into it. My grandpa was a big Fitbit user. Anyways, just where I'm going with this, sorry if that's super rambly, but this is a chatty get ready with me. So if you don't like chatty, don't watch. So anyways, I just have kind of carried that forward in my mind, and you know, I'm sure that, you know, I know that my parents and my brother want to make sure grandma has a great Christmas too. But you know, we did lose my grandpa a couple years ago around the holidays, so I'm sure it's a tougher time for her. And so I just always just try to make sure, like, how can I make sure that my grandma has a really great Christmas? And you know, so one of the ways I do that is I just make sure that in addition to whatever main gift I'm getting her, I just try to get her just a few extra little thoughtful things, just that way she has lots of gifts to open, and you know, that way she really feels, not that she isn't like a huge part of our family, but just that way she like really feels special and loved and cared for. And yeah, and you know, same for my my grandma on my mom's side. So it's my grandma on my dad's side who lives with us, but my grandma on my mom's side, she lives in a senior's home. And again, for my grandma on my mom's side, she won't be celebrating with us day of, but we celebrated with her a few weeks ago. And again, I just made sure that I did my part to make sure that she had lots and lots of gifts to open. A few products sent my way from Urban Decay. And so I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Perversion eyeliner for my tight line today. One of my favorite liners to tight line with. It is such a deep, dark, like crisp black. But yeah, anyway, so I just really just try to make sure with both of my grandmas that I'm doing my part to make sure that they have lots of thoughtful and meaningful gifts that they're going to enjoy, because, you know, you know, I just think about how, you know, they don't have their partners anymore, and they don't have either my grandpas, and that, you know, they deserve to have obviously great Christmases too. And you know, that's just something that I think a lot about around the holidays. So I'm really excited about all the gifts I got for them. I'm really excited to see my grandma open her gifts. I think I did a pretty great job on my grandma's gifts, but men's gifts I suck at. Yeah. So I actually put together all of the stockings for my family this year, and I was working with my mom, kind of, she was consulting and I was kind of doing the shopping just with COVID. And I got like great stuff for my brother and my husband and brother's girlfriend. Like, you know, I got some really great stockings put together. But when it came to my dad's, everything at the store, it just looked like junk that he wouldn't actually like. So I called my dad and I'm like, Dad, like, I'm buying stuff for your stocking. Would you be mad if it was all candy? And my dad was like, no, I want that. So I know I had been talking about extending vlogmas into like just, you know, keeping on doing one video every single day until the end of the month. But to be honest, one, I thought about, you know, pre-filming a couple videos today and then having them up for the next few, but I just decided to just have a quiet morning with my husband. And I always say real life comes before YouTube and comes before content creation. So what I've decided, I'm definitely, this will be our, I think, our last video for a couple of days. Not ever. We're still doing YouTube. But definitely I'm not going to be filming on Christmas. I might grab some content and see if I can put together like a bit of a Christmas vlog, but if it doesn't, like, I'm not really gonna force it, you know, it either happens or it doesn't. This is a blush I've been meaning to try. This is from the Creme Shop, or the Cream Shop. I think it should be the Creme Shop. It's Moisturizer, and I actually picked this up at CVS when I was in the States a few months ago. I haven't tried it yet, but it looks like a really, really pretty kind of soft pink. And I'm going in with my Refer 19 brush. So anyway, so what I was sort of thinking is I'm not gonna really like film a video on Christmas. And because I already kind of mentioned that I really view Christmas as a 3-day holiday, I'm not gonna really film on Boxing Day either. Boxing Day we are gonna be with my in-laws, and we are coming home on Boxing Day, but I don't really know what time we're gonna be home at. So I think what we're just gonna do instead is I will film again on the 27th and get a video up on the 27th. And I do have some content I want to put up between, sort of in that in-between Christmas and New Year's time. But I think I'm going to give myself 2 days off. It might end up being 3, but definitely 2 days off. I think that'll be good. I mean, I know that I found for myself, like, I am tired. I don't mean this in a way that I'm tired of YouTube, but it is a lot to kind of get up, you know, make sure you're finding time to film, finding time to edit, and I just really want to focus on my family for a couple of days during the holidays. So I know that you guys understand that, and I definitely appreciate that you guys know that, you know, family comes first. And so there's still gonna be lots of content, and I have been thinking a lot about what's my content schedule going to look like in the new year. Right now I'm sort of thinking 3 videos a week. I need to kind of figure out my content calendar, but I want to strike that balance between making sure there's frequent uploads and then making sure there's high quality uploads. So I think 3 times a week is probably where I'm going to land. Okay, so I'm going in with, I already tapped it out, but this is my Givenchy Prism Libre Highlighter Limited Edition in the shade 10 Organza. And I love their Prism Libre setting powder. I haven't used their highlighter, but I'm going with my Refer fan brush, which is brush 20. Ooh. Oh, this is really pretty. Do you see that? It's a really pretty glow. I need to tap a little bit more. It's sort of a pinky bronze kind of highlight. So I'm sort of thinking like 3 videos a week in the new year. I haven't decided if I don't think I want to have like a solid like Monday, Wednesday, Friday or whatever. I think it'll just be 3 videos a week, because, you know, it's hard to have a hardcore content calendar or days of the week when, you know, you never know when there's a new launch or a new release. So I want to give myself that flexibility, but I think 3 times a week is probably where we're gonna land. So what I'm kind of doing is tapping it into the lid and then filling my brush up there. And I just want like the slightest little pop in there. So now I'm just going in under my eye and kind of in any area that's not powdered with my Charlotte Tilbury airbrush setting powder. So the other thing I wanted to kind of just get your thoughts on, heading into the new year, I'm sort of thinking about what content I'm going to produce. Last year I started doing a shop my stash, but it kind of petered out around the time that we moved and I just never really picked it back up. Do you guys like shop my stash content? Like, would you find that helpful? Would you find that enjoyable? Would you want to watch that? Let me know, because I'm happy to kind of get back into it. And part of me kind of wants to, because I really enjoyed the products I had that chance to rediscover. Yeah, anyways, just let me know if that's something that you would enjoy. Going with my Charlotte Tilbury airbrush setting spray. Gonna do a little bit of Pillow Talk medium for my lip liner. Going in with my Dior 999 matte. So the other thing I would just really love to hear from you guys about is what other kind of content you'd like to see from me in the new year. You know, if you specifically if you have any questions about Charlotte Tilbury's products, you know, obviously I do a lot of Charlotte videos, but if there's any specific questions or like techniques or looks or any of that kind of stuff that you would like to see, like, I would love to be able to make that content for you. Here is the final look. I love how it turned out. As usual, this is definitely, I feel like I just copy and paste the same makeup look every Christmas, every sort of holiday, but I love it. I love like a nice bold red lip, a nice sort of neutral glam eyeshadow, some winged liner, some good looking skin. Love how it turned out. Played with some new products, kind of relied on some old favorites. So really enjoying how it kind of came together. I'm definitely looking forward to spending some time with my family over the holidays. Like I said, I just love to hear down below what your Christmas plans are, but also just kind of what content you want to see from me in the new year. Any specific questions about Charlotte or you know, any like products you really want to see reviewed, any kind of that stuff. Just kind of helps me think about what I want to be doing kind of for the next couple of months. You know, I had a long list of video ideas, and I mean, it's still long, but we definitely knocked a lot of them out through Vlogmas. I can't believe, honestly, that Vlogmas is over. And every single time it comes up, I always just tell myself, like, you know, oh, it's not that hard. Like, it's just a video every day. It's fun. It's easy. But then I always kind of get to a point, it's usually around like December 20th, where I'm like, okay, this can be over now. I'm tired. And, you know, I don't think people realize just how tiring it is to, you know, be really on for the camera and make sure your hair looks good and do your makeup and like edit in the evening and get everything else ready for Christmas. But it is super fun. So I really enjoy doing Vlogmas. I do it every single year. I am looking forward to a couple of days off where I can just kind of sort of disconnect a little bit from social media and just really focus on my family. But I'm super excited about all of the gifts that I've got for everyone. I'm excited to open my gifts too, but I think you kind of get to a point in life where you're excited to receive gifts. There's nothing wrong with receiving a gift, but you're more excited about the gifts that you're giving. And I know that I'm there. I've been there for a few years, and I'm just excited. I'm excited to give some gifts. I've got some funny ones for people to open, and I really go all out with the wrapping. So anyways, thank you for joining me on this chatty get ready with me. I know I promised one more giveaway, but I just haven't had a chance to get all the products together. So there's gonna be one more giveaway before New Year's, and it's just gonna be tied in a video. I don't really know where, but thank you so much for watching and for joining me on this Vlogmas journey. I'm excited to produce some great content over the next couple of months. I have some big plans, and a lot of the videos that I'm planning for, I want to say for January, for kind of January, February, are videos that are kind of a higher production effort for me, and those videos I just find really hard to do during Vlogmas. So I think they're gonna be really good. They're just gonna be a lot more time consuming for me to film. So I'm excited about them. I hope that you will enjoy them, and I will see you guys soon. Bye. Mwah.